Alright guys, I got another video for you. Working in Godot 4.1. We're going to be making a scene like this, so you're going to learn how to do everything necessary to create this. What it is a scene that has a bunch of marbles that fall down. Every time they bounce on one of these pegs, you'll notice that those marbles change color. They just bounce, and every time they hit one of those pegs, they change color, and then they fall down to the bottom. When they get to the bottom, they get teleported up all the way back to the top, and it just repeats over and over. On the left and right side, I've got a couple cactus that dance, and we're going to make this. This is going to take probably a couple videos to do it. We're going to try to link Blender, and we're also going to try to link Blender and link some projects so we can import animations from Blender and use those. I'm still learning that, but I was able to get this working. But anyway, let's get started on this. It's going to take a couple videos to do all of this, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and make a brand new project for this so I can start from nothing. I'll pause it. I'll make my new project. Y'all do the same. So basically just create a project and give it a name, or you can use one already. Mine's going to be blank, so here we go. Alright, I've got my scene created. I can put the buttons on the screen. Maybe I'll do that, or maybe I can remove it with time as we need it. Okay, so we're going to start out by adding some stuff. The last video you might already have some of the things added in, but we're going to just create a our board here first. So we're going to start with adding a let's create the folders. Let's do new folder. We'll do scenes, we'll do scripts, let's do meshes. I don't know how soon we'll use those. Let's go ahead and hit 3D scene, and we'll call this the Pegboard. Pegboard main. I don't know. That sounds good to me. Alright, so we've got our main scene here. Let's add a... I guess let's start off by adding a light. We can add the directional light. I think we already kind of did that on one of the last videos. One thing about the directional light, the light points where the arrow points where the light is coming from. It really doesn't matter where the light is placed in the scene, because this light comes from an infinite distance away, basically. But I'm just gonna point it somewhere, and I will move it out of my way. And if I ever want to rotate it and change it, I can find it and do that later. So I'm gonna move this thing pretty high. Let's do 50. So it's way up there. But I do have a light, and if I need to move it, I'm gonna have to. If I do need to turn it, I'm gonna have to do that there. Okay, so I got my light. Let's add a mesh, I guess. Let's do that. Let's do a static body, 3D, and this can be the floor. So I've got a floor. I will put a mesh in there. The mesh I'm going to add is a box. So I'm going to go from mesh instance, and I'll choose box. And then this box is going to need some collision. There's actually some pretty cool ways to add the collision. You can right click, or you can click on it, and then at the top middle it has a mesh button, and you can say create a tri-mesh from the sibling. This is accurate but the slowest, and then you can do a single collision for a sibling. These are automatically generated, so if I click that one, it made a collision, and you can see that there's the collision. So that's probably the way I'm gonna start doing it. Alright, so I've got my floor. I also noticed that if you try to scale these meshes or the floor, So if let's come over here to this floor, and if I try to scale it, if I scale it uniformly, it doesn't give me any problems. However, if I uncheck this link here and then start scaling it like that, you'll see it gives me a warning saying that it's not going to react correctly or how I would think it's going to. So maybe it's better to build your box out of multiple squares instead of just one. I'm not really sure just yet. I'm still learning. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and stretch it to start with, just because I don't know. Let's do something like 12 on the X. Whoa. Oh yeah, I forgot I hit that link, so I'm gonna undo that link. So let's do 12 on the X, and then I want to make it a little bit thicker. So this is like the bottom plate. So let's do 4. No. 3. Yeah, we'll do 3. Alright, so that is going to be our bottom plate. Let's go ahead and add a back plate now. So I can duplicate this. So if you click on it and Control D, I think it should let me do it. Control D. There we go. I got a second one. Can lift that up. I want this one to, instead of being, I want it to be a back piece. So I'm gonna change. Let's go to transform and let's make it a little bit skinnier. We'll do 1. So now it's skinnier here. And let's move it back. Okay, so currently our Y, let's move it back -1 on the X. Nope. Must be on the Z. -1 on the Z. Alright, so that lines us up right there. And now we're going to want to make it taller. Let's do, I don't know. Let's just stick with that 12. Okay. So now we've got our back piece here. If you want to change what the shape of your pegboard looks like, you could do that. I'm just kind of, you know, going with the flow here. Alright, so I've got the front and the bottom. Let's add some sides here. So I'm going to duplicate, let's call this the backboard maybe. Let's duplicate this one. So I'll duplicate. So I right clicked and said duplicate. It doesn't need to be as wide because this is going to be like the left side, I guess. So let's go to transform. We'll do 12, but this time we'll do 3. Nope, wrong one. 12, 3. Yeah, that's still a little thick. So let's do 1, 2. And I'm gonna move it. Needs to go this way. -6 maybe. Nope, not quite. -5.5. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'll move it there. Close enough. Alright, so the next one I can duplicate. So 5.5, this part right here, what's what I do? I'm gonna let's say this is the left side. Let's duplicate this one, and then we'll do right side. Now, on that transform, instead of -5.5, I think you can just do 5.5, and it'll give you like the exact other side there. Alright, So we've got the basic shape of this guy here. Alright, so let's add a rigid body and a camera. Right now, if we try to run this scene, oh man, I probably should have tried to save earlier. So let's go ahead and save. Control S. We'll put this in our scenes folder, Pegboard main. Alright, so I've got this scene here saved. If you click run, it's not going to show you anything, so we're going to need a camera. So let's add a camera. So I just hit the plus sign and I'm going to camera 3D. There's my camera. I'm going to back my camera up. And if I want to see what my camera is seeing so I can adjust this a little bit better, I hid that output by clicking this right here. That's how I hid that. And you can bring it back just by clicking that word again. But I want to see what my camera sees, so I'll say view. I want to do 2 camera angles. And if I want to see the camera with either one of these, I can click on preview like that. So that's what my camera is seeing. That's not too bad. I'm going to move it, change the location a little bit. There we go. So now if I hit run, I can see that scene like that. Okay, I like it. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and hide that by just going like that and hiding it. So I've got my camera. I wonder if, can I hide this and will it still show up whenever you play? Yes, it will. So cool. Okay, so I hid the camera and now that. Alright, now we need to add a sphere. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit shorter. So this is just building the box of the pegboard. So I'm going to cut this video off here and I'll pick up on another part coming up.